How y'all doing? It's Judge Lynn. I'm making some changes. First of all, cutting the hair, doing the long 1 week haircut. Here's Decker. He heard the ding ding. He wanted to come over, make sure you knew he was here. Zora was already over here. So here I am. Not only am I adjusting what's on my head, I'm adjusting what's in my head. Remember the other day I was talking about I was caught in an emotional quicksand because I'm afraid to make any moves because and I'm just don't want to sink any further, but I can't actually get up and go anywhere. And what I had to do was put in processes and procedures to extricate me from my current condition. And I have, so this morning I worked out and took a shower and cut my hair. And the reason I cut my hair was because I had been thinking about my hair for a long time. It's been giving me the business, and I was thinking, why is this such a thing? And I recalled the reason I started to, I was growing my hair when Eric died, and I was growing it out for him. But in my mind, it was set, your hair needs to be longer. So when I lost him, that emotional set was still there, and I was still messing with it. And over time, I've been cutting here and there to make it, but I've been feeling like, no, you just can't, you're wrong. And like, I had to dig up that old emotion, find out where it came from, and replace it with something else, and replace it with my love of convenience. And my love of convenience abounds. This is the techiest place in the house, but it's just convenient. Hence, it's where I date. So there you go. I want to feel better, but I got to work at it. You know what I'm saying? And you can't pretend that you're better than you are, because you won't get better than you are because you believe you're somewhere that you're not. A lie will make you feel better, but a lie won't help you get better. So I got to get up and I got to get out. I'm also going to a podcast tonight too. So I mean, my two concerns about the podcast is, what am I going to wear? What's my hair going to be? And the drive there and back. I think I might take Uber or something because I just hate to drive. Don't I worry about the stupidest things? Yeah. Now that we have discussed my faults, failures, and foibles, I'm going to ask a question. It's a hi. I had my first and only child 8 months ago, and I'm noticing a change in my friendships. College ones. I recently cut off 2 friends because I felt that we had become distant, and addressing it didn't work out so well. Now, first of all, let me stop you at, I had my first child 8 months ago, and it has caused a change in my friendship. I've noticed a change in my friendship, college ones. It would be weird if you didn't notice a change. Your whole center of gravity has changed. The focus of your life is different. You are handling this life. These people are loud and constant and popping. At least my children were. And you gotta, and everything changes. Your priorities change. Your time level change. Your energy level changes. So you need to assume that there will be an alteration in your relationship because you introduced such a significant change. That's not good. That's not bad. That's just what it is. Now, I'm not sure. You said I recently cut off friends because I felt that we had become distant and addressing it didn't work so well. Now, how did you address it? Did you get mad? Were you in your feelings about not feeling as close? Now, if I wanted to address something like that, here's a suggestion. It's easier, especially when actually you're the cause of the change. And it's not, to cause change is not a bad thing. To interrupt something is not a bad thing. To have things adjust because of what you're doing is not a bad thing. So that's not, and the fact that your relationship with your college friends is not a bad thing. It's just a thing. And it's a thing that you created. That means, again, we're not assigning fault. Your life changed. So how you deal and conduct with everybody else changes. And this is probably the most significant change you could have. It's like this baby. Now, when you addressed it to him, were you irritated? Were you annoyed? Were you saying things have changed? Because if things have changed, it's because your situation has changed. The thing to do is go about and say, I know everything is different now. I said, I got a kid, I'm tired and all this kind of stuff, but I feel like we're losing our connection. Let's work something out. Like maybe every other Saturday we can make it a day where I know I can get a babysitter and we can all go out. But addressing the yes, everything has changed with respect to the time that I have, my energy, where my money goes, all of that is changed as a function of this, but I don't want to lose you guys in that process. Let's work something out. And if that don't work out, you're saying, well, how do I find a girlfriend? You say you have a loving partner and a loving family and you don't have a sister friend. Well, make one. They got mommy and me groups and they get deep, but they got mocha mommy and me groups. You know what I mean? Just you can meet people that are doing the same thing, or just do something you find interesting, where you can meet people and do interesting things and meet people that are interested in the things that you are, and then you'll find some sister friends. It seems you have a great deal of wonderful things going on in your life. Don't pick at it to find something that isn't perfect, and they get warm. You got love all the way around you. You got friends that are still friends, but friends in a different way because you're a different person. You've got a different life. And your relationship with them will change, and it will change in a positive manner if you make it that way. Another last question. I'm married to someone who has been married over a decade who doesn't handle serious situations well. And she gave me two examples. One was from 3 years ago when our son was now 3, but he needed a procedure as a newborn, and I had to endure that alone. He said, I try not to hold grudges, but the list can be lengthy. Most recently, I told him I was worried about a personal medical issue, and the response was I should go get it checked out. Now, not I'm happy to go with you, or let's go see to figure this out. None of that. And it never has been any insights on why I stay. Well, no, any insights on why I stay, because you only gave me such a limited information about this one thing that he does wrong, which you believe he doesn't take matters seriously enough. Now, I don't know if this is just happenstance that you happen to give me two medical examples. But, so, there is a thing where some people, and in large measure, many men find that hospital thing very disconcerting. Their sense of, that sense of power and control, they lose that there. And I know my mother used to be in charge of my father's doctoring, but he never came to hers, and we weren't like that either. I took, if there was a procedure, yeah, I guess, but they really don't like it. And I remember one day, and it's not because I personally think you need to and just go. I mean, I do a lot of things that I'm scared of and just go. I believe that they should just go. But I don't know if he's got a thing about hospitals, because a lot of men do. And I remember hey, stop. I remember one time, it was so funny. Eric had gone for some, like a little knee thing or something, because he used to be a football player and something. And I came in and I had all of his medical and I did all the stuff. And the guy said, would you let your husband speak for himself, please? And I was like, And we looked at each other. I said, yeah, but I'm the one that knows what's going on. This, that, and the other. And then I said, why did you say that? And he says, watch me. You could just watch. So I sat down and watched people come in. And after 10, I said, so it seems that when men come in for a medical procedure, their women are in charge. He said, yep, they all stand back and she jumps forward. And I just think it's weird. And I said, it's kind of more in our wheelhouse. And they, and that sense of surrender that you have in there, if you were more comfortable with, I don't know what's happening back there. That, we're more comfortable with that lack of control that you feel in there. So it might be a medical thing, I don't know. But if it's other serious things, then you need to talk to them about it. You know what I mean? Now, if it's not, if they're all medical, you can look at it that way. And that doesn't mean it buys him a pass, but it buys him a conversation about why he's afraid and concerned and this and that. Now, if it's not just medical stuff, it's all serious things and you need support, That's another conversation that you had to have. And when you have it, you don't have to have it at the time that you don't get what you want. What you do is you hang on to it. Don't get resentful about it. Hang on to the lesson, not to the anger, the irritation. And then the next time he takes another serious matter, not seriously, he said, can I ask you something? You didn't this and that. Why is that? I would really like you to. Could we? You know what I mean? That's a whole different conversation. So you got to figure out, you know what things he doesn't chime in on. And it may not be a man thing. It may be a him thing, an insecure thing, an education level thing. You don't know what it is until you talk about it. And I know I always say that, but what else can you do? What else can you do? You gotta talk. They're odd. We're weird. To the extent I'm weird, I gotta explain that to him. The extent they're odd, they gotta explain it to me. And, we also have a lot of expectation these days. As a man, he should. As a woman, she should. And that's just, like my parents' relationship was, as a man, he should bring in the money. That's exactly what he did. And as a woman, she should clean up the house and take care of it, as she did. But also, she did the yard work. She did all this kind of stuff that typically, when they went somewhere together, she drove, not him. You know what I mean? She made all the major decisions about certain things, and he's just like, I'll pay for it. It's not, all male things and female things. You got to live with the cat you got. And the cat you got may have strengths and weaknesses in areas, and you got to deal with their strengths and weaknesses, not with what a traditional male strength and weaknesses should be. You have to understand what traditionally male things are because of cultural pressure and also the biological realities of having different amounts of vasopressin, oxytocin, testosterone, and estrogen running around your head. That's what I say. I don't know if it helped, but that's what I'm saying. I want you to have a good day. Wish me good luck on my podcast. Let us all hope I can get my hair together and my clothes together and get in an Uber, get there and get back home. To me, this is a big outing. It's as sad as it can be. It isn't. I'm fine at home. I shouldn't be as fine as I am at home, and we're going to talk about that. It's going to be the next thing I'm trying to do. But if you have a question for me, you look down on the bottom there, and it says Linktree, and then you click it. And it says Ask Judge Lynn. It also shows you my books and my IG page and whatever else I got going on. And I also think I'm going to start trying to do these tapes more as by issue, and do a what do you call that? Playlist by issue, as opposed to the best of me and Duchess, because I don't mean anything to anybody. Got it? Seats. 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 Why did it take you so long and all that hooping and hot seats? We got to go back into training. This ain't working out at all. Well, she sees. Y'all have a great day.